Day, everybody. I hope that you're well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 5 English lesson on prefixes and suffixes. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts. Grade 5. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of prefixes and suffixes. All right. So we've been doing the chapter of prefixes and suffixes, and we first did words with pre and re, then we did sub and miss, and then we also went on to the suffixes, which is full and less. So now we're going to end off our chapter on prefixes, and we're going to go on to our next lesson, which will be the last lesson on prefixes and suffixes, right? All right, so we say that chapter is prefixes and suffixes. Our subject is English Language Arts, grade 5. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on today under the chapter of prefixes and suffixes is words with able and words with able, right? All right, so we said that when it comes to prefixes and suffixes, right? Um, let's say we basically is going to say let's go to the suffix specifically because we are doing suffixes. Able and able is a suffix and it gets added to the end of a base word, right? So with suffixes, a suffix can be added to the end of a base word, and that is to create a new word, right? Um, so you have your base word, which is a word that can stand on its own. That word can stand on its own when you create sentences, right? But then you have like words that is either added to the end of that base word, right? That word then can stand on its own. So once you add that word to the end of your base word, and then it creates basically a new word. And once you create the new word, it either changes the meaning of that word, right? So it changes the meaning of that word. And also, in order for you to make it more easier, it is also easier for you to know the meaning of the suffix. So, like for example, words with able and able, right? Able and able, as much as it's just words that it's on its own, not even on its own, it's words that needs to be added to another word, right? In order to make sense or to create the word. that word also has a specific meaning. And knowing the meaning of that suffix before even adding it to a base word will help you to determine the meaning of a new word once it is being added to the base word, right? So now it creates a new word, and you'll be able to determine the meaning of this new word that you have created once you have added it to the base word, right? All right. So we are doing the suffixes, which is able and able, right? So when it comes to able and able, right, we said that knowing the meaning of the word able and knowing the meaning of the word able, right, will be able to help you to determine the meaning of the new word, right? And able and able, the suffix able and able, it means able to be, right? So whatever word you added to, right, you need to also incorporate the meaning of able to be, right? So for example, we have a word cure, right? So cure is a word that can stand on its own, right? So of course, cure is when, if you have any disease, you have sicknesses, you have, so now they give you medication or something, and then you'll be able to be cured, right? From that illness or disease. But now if we add the word able to that word, right? Able to that word. Now that word then becomes curable, right? So cure, it's like you are basically curing the person from, it's like helping that disease or illness to go away. Now, able means able to be, which means that this is able to be cured, right? So as much as just cured, but if they say, okay, there's something that is curable, then it means that that illness or that sickness is able to be cured, right? So it will be able to, let's say, go away or vanish or, yes, something of the sort. All right. So we said the suffix means able to be, and this helps us to determine that the location also is able to be. It can be any other word that we add that to, which means that it means that whatever will able to be, either able to go away, able to happen, right? So now we're going to look at a few words. All right. Let me just come in. Okay. Now we have a word which is predictable. Predictable, right? And remember we said predict. So predictable can be predict. Oh, sorry. So we have predict plus able, right? Which is predictable. So predict plus able is predictable. And when it comes to predictable, right, it says that this helps you to determine that the location of the sunrise is predictable. This is now an example that is given, right, because the earth moves in a regular known way. So it means that predictable, it means that it can easily predict it. Something can easily be predicted. That is predictable. If we need to predict something, and then it means that this thing can easily be predicted. Then we mentioned curable, right? Curable is when something can be cured. So I said curable is when something can be cured. And here we have cure plus able is curable. It's when something that can be cured. All right, if we look at another word, right? Then we have another word. The word is arguable, right? Arguable, which means that that is argue plus able, right? So we have argue plus able. And argue plus able, it is something that is arguable, can be argued one way or the other way. It is not settled. Meaning, if we are arguing about, I can't even think of something, about an answer, right? If we were to argue about an answer and I'm saying that 5 times whatever is whatever, and you are thinking of something else, then we are arguing about our answers, right? Something that can be arguable is something that is not settled. It's like it can either be one way or it can be the other way, and we are arguing about the specific thing. Sometimes arguments can be can be negative arguments or can be positive arguments, right? Um, like when I say negative or positive, then I mean negative arguments can be in a way that can either break friendships, can make people to get angry, or it can be like positive in the sense of just like, okay, I think we should go to the beach. No, you think we should go to the park. It's like we are arguing, me saying why I think we should go to the beach, and you saying why we should go to the park, right? So that then becomes like some form of positive arguments, just that we are trying to settle something as to why we should go to the beach or why we should go to the park, right? Nobody will be angry at one another when the one or the other is being chosen. All right. So we said able or able, right? They are both suffixes. So able and able are both suffixes. And able means to be, right? It means able to be. That is able or able. And these suffixes can be added to a word or to a root word, which is a base word, to form an adjective, right? Remember, an adjective is like we describe it, right? The describing word. If we add able or we add able, right? When the root or the word is not complete or not a completed word, we add able. So if the root word is not a complete word, we add able. And if the root word is a complete word, we add able. So, for example, with cure, we made an example of cure. That is basically a complete word, right? So we add able to that word, and then we get curable. Then we have the word argue plus able, right? Because that word is it is a completed word, right? And then we also added it to the word predict plus able. We have predictable. So that is also a complete word. And then when we add the word able, right? Then it means that if we, let's say we specifically look at these two words, these words, right? These words are, for example, horrible. Here we have the word horrible, right? So we can't actually try to find a root word in horrible, horror, horry. No, right? So horrible is basically just able completes horrible, right? The same with incredible. Incred, it's not like we say short for incredible is incred, because able, this word able, ible, it completes incredible, the word incredible. The same with possible, right? It's not like we can say the root word is pos, right? So able, it completes that word possible. And the same with terrible. We can't say that the root word is terror because we don't get that, right? So we have terrible. So the word able that is added to that, it completes that word. It completes the word horrible, possible, incredible, as well as terrible. Whereas when we add able to a word, then it means that these words are already completed. The base words, the root words are already completed on its own. The same like adorable. This is adore plus able, which is adorable, right? Consider plus able, considerable, right? There we have love plus able is lovable. Reason plus able, we have reasonable. We can depend on somebody or something. Depend plus able is then dependable. The same with noticeable. Notice plus able. Notice plus able is noticeable. And then we have change plus able is changeable. All right. So now we're going on to our tutorial lessons on aplusstudents.ca, where we are going to look at our tutorial lesson, as well as we are going to do our test on prefixes and suffixes with able and able. All right. So we said that our chapter is prefixes and suffixes, and we are doing the lesson on words with able and able, right? And words with able and able means able to be. All right. So we said a suffix can be added to the end of the base word or a root word that we've just learned to create a new word. And knowing the meaning of a suffix can help you to determine the meaning of a word. And we said the suffix able and able, it means able to be, right? And we said we use the word able when a word is already completed. So now we're just adding that word to the base word that is already complete, that can really stand on its own, like cure, um, change, notice, love, argue, predict, right? So now we add the word able to that word, and then it will be able to change the word and we'll be able to get a new meaning of that word. Whereas able, IBLE, which is able, right? It is then added to a word that is not complete, right? Like terrible, possible. Those are words that cannot stand on its own, right? It needs the word able in order to complete that word. All right. So now we're going to look at this word, which is usually adjustable. Adjustable, meaning that it can be adjusted or we can adjust it. It is adjustable. And something that can be adjustable, right? They ask, can a t-shirt be adjustable or a belt? What can you usually adjust? Can it be a t-shirt or a belt? What is adjustable? Something that you can adjust, right? Something that you're able to be adjusted. That's a word. That's a sentence. All right. So it's something that can be adjustable, right? So it means that a belt, right? A belt can be adjusted. It is usually adjustable, right? So a belt can be adjusted because if you're a bit thinner or slimmer, then it means that there's different holes in the belt that you can adjust to make it a bit smaller. Or if you're a bit bigger built, right, and then you can maybe put it on the last little hole to also adjust the belt or the loops of the belt in order to fit to your specific weight or the weight or let's say your waist, if that's the word, right? So well done. A belt can be adjusted or your safety belt can be adjusted, right? Well done. Okay, so what is more visible, right? What is more visible? Something that is more visible, right? Is it artwork hung over your mantle artwork or artwork that is stored in your closet? Let's say basically artwork on the wall, let's rather put it like that, artwork on the wall or artwork stored in your cupboard. Which one is, let's say, closet? Which one is more visible that you are able to see? That you are able to see? Is it artwork that is on your wall or that's hanging on your wall or artwork that is stored in your closet? Something that is more visible. All right, and something that is more visible, right, that we can see, it is artwork on the wall or artwork that is hung over your mantle, right? Beautiful artwork that is hanging on your mantle or artwork that is on your wall. That is much more easier to see, right? It's more visible than artwork that is stored in your closet. Because remember, if it's stored in your closet, then it means that somebody first needs to go into your closet in order to see it, right? Something that is visible can be seen easily when you walk into a room. All right, so now we need to say what is curable. So, which illness is curable? Which illness is curable? Which illness is curable? Is it an illness that goes away after being treated, or an illness that has no treatment? So, which one is curable? The first one, which is an illness that goes away after being treated, or the second one, which says an illness that has no treatment. Something that is curable, an illness that is curable. All right. So, curable, right? An illness that is curable is an illness that goes away after being treated, right? Something that is curable is something that can be cured, right? And goes away after being treated. Yes, it's the first one. So well done. So the first one is correct, right? If there's no treatment, then it means that we can't cure it, right? But curable, remember curable, we said it is cure plus able. And able means able to be, meaning it is able to be cured, right? So well done. All right, so now we're going on to our test, right? Where we're going to words with able and able. Okay, so which is sliceable? That we are able to sliceable. A loaf of bread or a salad that is sliceable. Option one or option two, sliceable. A loaf of bread or a salad. All right, so something that is sliceable, right? Yeah, so a loaf of bread we can slice. It's sliceable. We are able to slice it, right? Not a salad. So well done. Option one is correct, or we can say a loaf of bread. Well done. Which is more achievable? Something that you're able to achieve. So, which is a more achievable goal? Is it running a mile under 4 minutes or running a mile under 7 minutes? Which is a more achievable goal? Something that you're able to achieve. Being able to run a mile in under 4 minutes or being able to run a mile under 7 minutes. All right. So we're going with running a mile under 7 minutes. Remember, 4 minutes, it's a very short time, right? So if you are really a runner and you constantly run, then it is you'll be able to basically run a mile in less than 4 minutes. But it is more, achievable for some of us who don't run or usually don't run. For us, basically running a mile under 7 minutes is at least achievable, right? But well done, guys. So under 7 minutes is more achievable. All right. So why might you use erasable ink? Erasable ink. So that you can make changes or so that the words can't be altered. So that you can make changes or so that your words can't or cannot be altered. Erasable ink. Something that you're able to erase. So if you use erasable ink, right? Is it so that you can make changes? Or you might use erasable ink, yet your words cannot be altered. All right, and if we were to choose the correct answer, right, remember when it comes to erasable, then it means that you are able to erase it, and then it means that you will be able to make changes, right? So if you can erase something, you can make changes. So well done. Which is preventable? Something that you're able to prevent. Is it a sunburn or a thunderstorm? A sunburn or a thunderstorm, what is preventable that you're able to prevent? All right. So something that is preventable, something that we are able to prevent is a sunburn. It's either you wear your sunscreen or you stay out of the sun, you wear your sun hat, right? In order to prevent being, getting sunburn. But a thunderstorm, we cannot stop the weather. We cannot prevent the weather, right? So well done. Which is replaceable? Which is able to be replaced? Which can we replace? Something that is able to be replaced. Is it something common that we can basically replace any time, or something rare that we can replace? Something common or something rare? option one or option A, which is something common, or option B or number two, which is something rare. Something rare is very hard to find. Something that is replaceable, that we can easily replace. All right, and something that you can easily replace, that is replaceable, that you are able to replace, is something common. Because something common you can get at any store, right? Something common is that you can get it in a store, you can order it online, you'll be able to get it real, like quickly or easily. But something rare, you know, uh, those are not things that you can replace easily. So well done. Something common is correct. All right. Which is more arguable? Something that you're able to argue, something that is arguable. Is it whether it's more fun to go to the beach or the mountains? Or can we argue about whether Antarctica is warmer than Amazon rainforest? Which is more arguable? Whether it is more fun to go to the beach or to the mountains? Or is it more arguable to argue about whether Antarctica is warmer than the Amazon rainforest? All right. And something that is more arguable, right? That you're able to argue about, right? We can argue about the fact that whether it is more fun to go to the beach or to the mountains. Because remember, you're going to argue about something, but your argument is really going to be based on something that you love doing. So if I love going to the beach and you love going to the mountains, then we are not going to settle something because at the end of the day, me, I love the beach. I love going to the beach, and you love the mountains. You love the peace and tranquility of the mountains. So that is literally something that we can argue about, right? Because you will try to also explain why it is more fun in the mountains, and I will try to explain why is it more fun to go to the beach. So that is more arguable. So well done. Option A is correct. Well done. Which is more adjustable, that you're able to adjust? Can you adjust a t-shirt, or can you adjust a belt? Something that is more adjustable, that you're able to adjust. Yes, that was one of the questions that was in the examples. So this is the question that was in the example. Remember, a t-shirt, it's either the t-shirt is too big or the t-shirt is too small, right? The only way for you to be able to adjust a t-shirt to your size is probably by that's if the t-shirt is too big, and I'm either going to tie it or something in order for it to look as if or to fit to your size. But a t-shirt that is too small, you cannot adjust it to be bigger, right? Unless you're going to alter it, cut it open, and they're going to have to add material. Whereas with a belt, right, a belt has got like holes, right, that you're able to adjust it according to your waist size. If it's a bit bigger, right, you will make the belt a bit bigger. If it's a bit smaller, you will adjust it then to the waist or to the size of your waist, right? So a belt is more adjustable, something that you're able to adjust. All right. And which business is profitable? It's able to make a profit. It's like you're making money, right? A business that is profitable, you're able to make profit. The business is booming. Is it one that makes more money than it spends, or one that is filing for bankruptcy? Remember, a profit is where, after all my expenses and my deductions and everything, now we have this X amount left, right? That means that we made a profit. We made more than what we basically got out, we gave out. Bankruptcy is where your account is going on a negative. You're not making money anymore. All right. So a business that is more profitable, right, that is able to make more profit or to make more money, is one that makes more money than it spends, meaning that you're getting in more money than the amount that you are giving out. All right, let's do the last one. Which is more manageable, something that you're able to manage, something that you're able to control? Is it finishing a week's worth of homework in one evening, or finishing a day's worth of homework in one evening? Something that is more manageable, something that you're able to do. It's like, I can manage to do this in one evening. Are you able to do a whole week's worth of homework in one evening? Or are you able to only finish a day's work in one evening? Something that is more manageable. We are going to finish after this one. All right. So basically, option two, which is finishing a day's worth of homework in one evening, that is more manageable. You're able to manage it, and it's also more realistic, right? All right. So well done, everybody. So that is now the end of our lesson on prefixes and suffixes. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the class. We said prefixes and suffixes, or more like a suffix, is a word that is added at the end of a base word, a word that can stand on its own. And we went our last lesson under the chapter prefixes and suffixes were able and able. And we said that able and able means it is able to be, right? Able is added to a word that is already completed, whereas able, it basically completes a word, right? So thank you very much, grade fives, for joining the class. And I really hope that you're going to have a good day further. Goodbye.